Hey folks, this is One for the Road, a John Caldwell podcast exploring Mississippi highway issues and infrastructure challenges. Here there's one person and one voice standing up for the road you travel, the road less traveled, the road in most need, and ultimately the road ahead. Each episode we will shed some light on the who, what, when, and why mysteries that leave many of us scratching our heads, searching for better answers. This is Commissioner John Caldwell. Thanks for listening to One for the Road. Welcome back. This is our second episode of One for the Road with John Caldwell. During this episode, I'll take a look at the good, the bad, and the ugly of Mississippi highway funding. How can we have money for a $300 million project, but not enough for your $7 million project? That's a fair question, and I've asked myself that a time or two. So in the world of the good, the bad, and the ugly, we'll first look at the good. Much is done right. Mississippi balances our state budget every year. Likewise, MDOT balances our transportation budget. There are no half-finished bridges being built to nowhere in Mississippi. Our projects and priorities mostly make sense. Sound fiscal policies and sensible money management are extremely important. Audits and reviews of our spending and budgeting have yielded solid results. That's especially encouraging in a world full of mismanagement and dishonesty. We can be proud of a long track record of good public stewardship. MDOT manages an annual budget of just over $1.4 billion, up slightly after hovering around $1.2 billion for years. The revenue source for that is our excise tax on fuel, 18.4 cents per gallon federal, and a share of the 18.4 cents per gallon state. Other special funds and fees and special allocations round out a fairly tight budget. Conservative policy and an open book approach to public business serves us well and continues at MDOT. In recent years, we've aggressively managed that budget. We've done so through a worldwide pandemic followed by a surge of inflationary pressures. Our MDOT families faced the same pandemic and today experience the same inflation as everyone else. Our employees, contractors, and suppliers worked diligently throughout the COVID lockdowns and limitations. Everyone who felt the impact of the pandemic also felt and still feel the pressures of inflation. Everyday maintenance was sustained and practically uninterrupted, although limited by manpower and money. 24/7 storm response kept bridges and roads open. Bridge replacements and priority highway projects within our revitalized capacity program continued across the state. Also good is a renewed collaboration between our legislature, our governor, and our commissioners. The conversation is slowly getting right. However, some communication gaps still exist. We're still working at bridging those gaps. So that's the good. Good money management, good people doing good work, and we're still working at ways to improve our results. Now the bad. It takes money to fix roads, and we don't have enough. The more roads that need fixing, the more money we need. It really is that simple. The fact that more road repairs and more construction projects require more money is irrefutable. No fussing, cussing, tantrums, or debate changes that. It's not politics or scientific theory. It's basic math and common sense. And we need more common sense in every aspect of state government, especially here and now. Frankly, inflation guarantees that it will cost us more money to simply keep doing what we have done in our recent past. Increased costs of labor, increased costs of materials, increased costs of equipment, increased costs of contractors, not to mention the increased public demands for better everything, from reflective stripes, audible stripes, smarter traffic signals, wider lanes, wider shoulders, smoother rides, increased weight limits for roads and bridges. The list is long and growing. We've done a lot with a little, but doing more with less is not realistic. So we look for more. Our $1.4 billion budget is a lot of money. But MDOT had a $1.33 billion budget way back in 2016. That was 9 years ago. You heard that right. Our 2025 budget today is only slightly higher than our budget from 2016. Just keeping up with simple inflation should have taken us to at least a $1.8 billion budget today. More targeted calculations that include fuel, asphalt, or labor would move the MDOT budget to $2 billion just to keep up with inflation. We are and have been well short of that. Over that same 9 years, our highways will have actually been shorted somewhere between $2.5 to $3 billion of what should have been modest inflation adjustments from state and federal funds. Yes, nearly $3 billion with a B. That's real money shortfall. During COVID, our budget was even reduced to a 10-year low of $1 billion. Since that dip, our budget has steadily increased to reach our current yet unimpressive record high budget. Our primary annual revenue increase came from the federal infrastructure bill and not state money. President Biden is quick to point out that he's provided more money than ever. But don't get too excited. We've not recovered from the 9-year lag behind inflation, nor have we reached anything close to a comparable spending power of yesterday's dollars. State officials also tout the same more money than ever tagline, while omitting the same inflationary numbers that reduces our spending power. It's what I call a misleading truth. So yes, we finally reached a point where we can say we have more money than ever, but we actually have less spending power than we did 60 years ago, or even 30 years ago, or 10 or 5 for that matter. We just can't pretend that inflation just started or that it doesn't matter to our highways today. Obviously, we're not able to build the Eisenhower interstate system with our current federal dollars. We can hardly repair what we have. Likewise, we're not able to build a 4-lane highway system. We can't even repair the ones that were built with the 87 money or properly fix and maintain our 2-lane highways and bridges for that matter. The state contribution has most recently come in the form of one-time monies for a few choice projects. Both of the last 2 years saw the legislature put the lion's share of money into huge capacity projects costing hundreds of millions of dollars, leaving smaller and mid-sized projects still searching for more. That's the primary reason we're able to see large projects funded while much-needed smaller projects are still in limbo. If things don't change, we will continue to build big projects while waiting and watching for enough money to begin your small project. You may be surprised to know that MDOT one-time money for highway construction from last year was more than this year's commitment. In other words, we got less capacity money added this year than last. And even that year, with the most one-time money the state had, MDOT received $45 million less in maintenance and paving. It's hard to plan with numbers going up one year then down again another year. If that sounds confusing to you, you're not alone. Try to make plans with that reality. It's much like a low base salary with bonuses that fluctuate. We need to fix that soon. If you remember, in the Hollywood movie classic Jerry Maguire, actor Cuba Gooding Jr. played a character named Rod Tidwell. Tidwell was a pro footballer, a wide receiver seeking more money in his salary negotiations. He encouraged his agent, Jerry Maguire, played by Tom Cruise, to show me the money, referring to his pending contract renewal. He repeated it often, show me the money. Each year, we keep looking for a multi-year contract renewal, too. In the movie, Rod got his. In real life, we're still waiting. So talk is cheap. It's time to show me the money, and not at the end of a legislative session in one-time amounts from whatever's left. Show me the money early in real recurring revenue, a multi-year contract, if you will, that we can project and use to move Mississippi forward. An undesignated portion of the current internet use tax would be a good start, and it would not take from designated funds from anyone else. It also would help diversify our revenue stream. Plus, it would not require a tax increase. We're still on yesterday's funding plan today. We're playing under the old contract. We need a real commitment for tomorrow. So that's the bad. We're still short money. And even with all the time money that comes and goes and rises and falls, and with the legislature selecting the community winners and losers, the push continues. So the good again, we manage limited money well. The bad again, the money is short of our needs. The ugly, the process and politics in Jackson. So that's the good, the bad, and the ugly of transportation in a nutshell. On our next episode, we'll explore more of the ugly, the process, and the politics. So plan to join us next time, and we'll talk more of the Jackson politics and how that affects what we can or can't do for your favorite highways. Thanks again for listening. New podcast episodes will be shedding more light on unique transportation challenges across Mississippi. If you've enjoyed this and are ready for more, please hit the like button below, make a comment, place a review, or share this podcast with a friend. And join our following on Commissioner John Caldwell Facebook page. Until next time, slow down, drive in the right lane, and watch out for that pothole.